right. Hello and welcome to Hysteria. I'm Erin Ryan.
And I'm Alyssa Mastromonaco.
Alyssa. Okay, Alyssa, I'm sorry. Does something feel like a little different to you this week?
Do you mean that I can touch you? We hugged earlier.
We did hug.
We kept that personal.
Yeah.
Private.
It might be that you can touch me and that we're in a studio here live with 40 Hysteria superfans.
With makeup on?
At SiriusXM. It might be that, or it might be that I'm used to having a laptop. Something.
I mean, we do have laptops, but these cards are so much more tactile.
Indeed. Okay, Alyssa, let's start the news with a word from a hysterical man.
Oh, my favorite kind.
Jared Kushner has an IQ of 70. He's coming to Miami. We will eject him from Miami very quickly. He'll be leaving very quickly. He has 100 security guards. I'll have 5,000 security guards. You want to fight? Let's fight. Fuck you. Fuck you and your abortionist bitch daughter.
Man.
The only time we've ever agreed with Roger Stone.
That was Roger Stone, fascism's Bozo the Clown, the Mr. Rogers of the Upside Down. This one is really mean, but I'm going to say it. A man whose head is shaped like his mother tried her hardest not to give birth to him.
So vivid and so correct.
I mean, wouldn't you?
I would, and I'd have clenched.
Not this guy. Another thing about that clip, abortionist bitch daughter.
She sounds too fucking cool for her own
awesome.
good. Yeah.
I want to hang out with her.
Nah, but we don't.
No.
Because she's an asshole.
She's terrible.
Okay.
She's terrible. But you know what? That's the coolest she's ever sounded. So congratulations.
That is the coolest she's ever sounded.
5,000 security guards in Miami.
Okay, Roger.
Okay. Are they all unemployed real estate agents?
But ejecting Jared is fine.
All right. All right, let's get to topic one today.
News?
Yeah, news.
Little news?
Yeah, little news.
Erin, we're 3 weeks out from elections. The economy and inflation have become the dominant issues with a string of new polls. You know how we feel about polls, saying the election has been swinging to Republicans.
Okay.
Erin, have we ever trusted polls?
No, not at the state
have
level.
Polls ever been right for us?
No. I mean, yes, sort of.
Not really.
Well, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. We're seeing national polling about statewide elections.
Yes.
Which is like a useless way.
Here's the thing. If you're going to tell us that women are now white, independent, in quotes, because what's an independent white woman? Like, what's an independent white woman? It's a Republican
who doesn't
want to be shamed.
That's a Republican who's like pursuing a cable
and
news
they
contract.
talk now, they're like, breaking news, here it is in every newsletter you got the other day. White women who define themselves as independent are breaking Republican. And what we want to know is, were they the same women that they surveyed months earlier? Like, who are these women? They are Republican.
I think that they're Republican. Also, you know, we've talked about this a little bit, but I think that you have to be. It has been the storyline for the last few days that the election is breaking Republican.
Yeah.
Based on national polls, which are kind of useless in determining how individual state races are going to turn out, right?
Yes.
And then also, it feels to me like a lazy way for pundits who don't ever talk to anybody who makes less than 6 figures a year.
Except pollsters
are able to exist in their like black cars to CNN studio, black cars home. They're able to like justify their own existence. They're not on the ground.
True. Because Erin, last year, the year before, you did an interview with Lindsay Ufot.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody thought that we were going to have success in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And what did she say?
This was a week and a half before the Georgia
Right.
special election. We all know how that went. And it was on a knife's edge at the time. No pundit was saying,
No.
oh, this is going to be something that 2 Democrats take.
No, they were really brave. They're like maybe 1.
Yeah, they were
50%.
Right. They were like, who's that like pretty princess hair racist Kelly, whatever her name was, who lost? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that awful woman.
Yeah.
The woman that all the WNBA ejected from their
Oh, yeah,
roster.
they made her not. They're like, don't
We're not
be
even
our
going to say her last
owner
name. It was
anymore.
Kelly with the blonde hair.
Kelly something. Okay, so around that time we had Ense Ufat on the show, and I interviewed her, and I asked her truthfully, what do you think is going to happen with this election? And she was like, we're going to take them both. No hesitation. The difference between her and the people in studios in New York City is that she was on the ground doing the work. She was on the ground doing the work, and her work is more valuable than the work of people operating out of studios in New York, DC. I just
for the next couple of weeks, we're just going to kind of mute the polls.
Exactly. And I feel as though, a lot of our listeners are in places like Ohio, a lot in places like Pennsylvania, Arizona. And those are places where hearing a national news story about things swinging back toward Republicans might feel discouraging. But do not feel discouraged because nothing matters until Election Day.
Yep.
That is the
Got to
only
leave
thing
it all
that
on the
matters.
field.
Yeah. And
nice little sports reference.
Look.
I usually leave those to Aaron, but I decided to do it today.
That was a
I went
hole
Big
in
Ten.
one.
I went to Wisconsin. I can use a sports reference.
That was a hole in one.
Thank you.
Okay,
Tiger.
so yeah, don't pay attention. Nothing matters until Election Day.
Nope.
Let's get to Herschel Walker.
Oh, that guy.
He
What
is
a wreck.
Yeah, Herschel Walker,
He's a wreck.
Republican Georgia Senate candidate and repeated head injury recipient. Herschel Walker. In an interview with NBC News, he finally acknowledged that the $700 check that he sent to a woman for an abortion was his check, but it was not for an abortion.
No, it was for a child that would be conceived 2 years later.
Oh, right. Yeah. It was child support that would be
Correct.
conceived for a child that would be conceived in the future. That's the kind of leadership you need in the Senate, is the guy who knows about
clarity.
the conception
Foresight.
of a child in
Real
the future. But in a Jerry Springer move, NBC presented Walker with a copy of the check along with a receipt from the medical center in Georgia where the woman had the procedure. It doesn't matter whether it's my signature or not, Walker said before examining the document with reading glasses on and concluding, yes, that's my check.
Okay.
Yeah. Aiding and abetting. Let's pivot to another race in Georgia.
Georgia is just hot topics.
A lot going on there. But listen, Georgia. None of these people who are here in the studio with us are in Georgia. But Georgia, you could have,
if you're listening,
you could have Stacey Abrams.
So awesome.
You could have Stacey Abrams as your governor.
10 out of 10, one of the smartest people on the planet.
Yeah. Huge nerd.
Best nerd. Also, AKA Selena Montgomery.
Oh, yeah. Romance
novelist.
Successful.
I mean, talk about a
romance
polymath.
novelist.
She can do everything.
Incredible. But what's important is, in addition to the fact that she's a great candidate, she's running against a terrible person.
A real dum-dum.
Brian Kemp, who is responsible for signing the state's active 6-week abortion ban. 6-week, by the way, 6-week abortion is you don't even know you're pregnant in a lot of cases, especially if you're like, your period's weird. It's like, you don't even know you're pregnant. So he signed a 6-week abortion ban, but he announced that he would be open to a ban on destroying embryos created for in vitro fertilization.
Thanks, Brian Kemp.
So that would effectively...
How are his eggs being fertilized?
I don't want to... No.
I know.
Gross.
I had to.
It's gross. But here's the thing. I'm sorry. I stole your here's the thing. I'm
you
like
enjoy
absorbing your
you
personality.
Enjoy it. We both have. We're becoming the same person, and I love it. Sorry to your husband again.
So here's making a ban on destroying IVF generated embryos would severely impede people's ability to access fertility support.
Right.
And if that becomes something that is legal and upheld, that is going to make having a family the way that you want way more difficult.
Here's the problem with all of these nuts, right? What's the solution? Are you saying that you have to have them all implanted? Or do they have to go to the highest bidder? Like, what happens to them?
I think we should let them vote. If they're people, let the embryos vote.
Let them vote.
So Brian Kemp is not the only Republican who believes that IVF is something that needs to be in the crosshairs. New Hampshire Senate nominee, I'm not going to remember how to pronounce his name because he's not worth it.
No.
Don Bolduc. That terrible name. Terrible name. But
he's a gremlin.
He has also suggested limiting IVF. Just to reiterate, a vote for a Republican for any office is a vote to ban abortion and severely restrict people's ability to control their fertility.
Their body. anything. So
Yep, it's
thanks.
garbage. So,
And what is the state motto of New Hampshire? Live free or die.
oh yeah,
That's free.
why not both? Live free and
die.
All right,
And we have a little good news.
that's great.
a little good news, you
Good.
guys. Good news for penis havers. Okay, they wrote this because they didn't think I'd say it because I'm a prude, but I said it because it's funny. Good news for penis havers and the people to sleep with them. 60 vasectomies will be offered over 3 days in and outside.
Outside?
And outside.
Wait, who's getting a vasectomy outside? and
I don't
why?
know. It's a vasectomy al fresco at the Planned Parenthood Clinic in St. Louis, Springfield, Missouri, and Joplin, Missouri to uninsured patients during the first week of November amid what the clinics say is a surge in demand for the procedure.
Mobile spay neuter clinic.
I'm just... Trap and release, baby. Dr. Esker Garin then plans to make his mobile clinic a vehicle decorated with large images of sperm that his friends have jokingly dubbed the Nutcracker.
That is bolded on our cards, by
It's
the
bolded.
way. It is bolded.
And just, we find these stories, but they bolt them.
That was an editorial choice by Crooked Media to make sure we said the Nutcracker.
The Nutcracker on the road the following week to offer 40 more free vasectomies in several towns across Iowa. The efforts are part of World Vasectomy Day. If you didn't know, now you know. Originally a single day event that now includes a year-round focus and host of activities in November.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I feel like a vasectomy is almost as romantic, if not more, than a piece of jewelry.
I mean,
If your family is
for the
complete,
one you love.
if your family is complete, might as well just get a vasectomy for
Go
Christmas.
to Vasectomy al fresco in Joplin, Missouri.
Like he went to Jared as someone opening like a jewelry case, and inside is like a tiny scissors.
Little scissors.
It's like, sweetie,
Snip,
I did
snip.
it. I did it
Snip,
for you.
snip.
I did it for you. Okay, well, that's all the time for news we have this
Okay.
week. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, an interview with a very special guest. We are so excited to welcome our next guest back on the show for the third time.
3-timer.
Kind of an elite group.
Very elite group.
I think there's only a few people who are 3-timers.
And only one 4-timer.
One 4-timer. So challenged.
issue.
Challenged. She is the first Black woman to lead any state legislature nationwide. She currently represents California's 37th district. She is the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus and one of the most effective and impactful legislators in D.C., not to editorialize.
I mean, but it's our show.
But it's our show.
So we can say whatever we want.
She has spent her career fighting for justice and opportunity for all with a track record of delivering results. And now she's running to be mayor of Los Angeles. Karen Bass.
Welcome to Hysteria.
We've had you on this show. This is the third time. This is our first time hugging.
What a nice welcome.
I know.
That's right.
Okay, so let's just get right to it.
Sure.
So, what is at stake in this race, both locally, statewide, and nationally, and why should people all over the country be paying attention to the mayoral race in Los Angeles?
Well, I believe in Los Angeles we're in a fight for the soul of our city. And I'm so concerned. LA is a progressive democratic city, but if we learned anything during the Trump years, you can't take it for granted. And I don't want to see our city move backwards and move in a conservative direction. But everybody's so freaked out over the homeless issue that we could do that. So that's why I think it's important locally and then in terms of nationally, because we have to make sure that our blue areas stay blue.
So, yes. There is a direct correlation between how expensive it is to live here and how many people don't have places to live.
That's right.
How are you going to make LA a city that middle income families or even families that don't have generational wealth don't have to flee? How are you going to help people on the brink of becoming homeless?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, there's a lot of people that we moved off the street during COVID because we had extra money. That money's running out. I'm worried we're going to have another spike. So we have to extend that money. But we do have to build housing in Los Angeles. And the way I think we can do it quickly is the city, the state, the federal government, they own a lot of land. So why can't we build first where the land is already owned by the public?
How is your approach different from your opponent, Rick Caruso?
Well, what he is proposing, I believe, is a throwback to the past. 30,000 shelter beds. We know shelter beds might where you begin, but that's not where you end, and he's not proposing anything afterwards. I believe that his proposal will essentially lead to criminalizing the poor, because he's saying, if I offer you a shelter bed, you got to go.
Right.
And we know now people are refusing to go to shelters because they don't feel they're safe.
Right.
And when COVID, don't you think we got to come up with something better? He's also talking about sleeping pods. I don't know what
What's a sleeping
I
pod?
don't know.
I don't want to
no.
I don't want to sleep in that. Nobody wants to sleep
I
in
don't
that.
think so.
Yeah. Okay, so these last couple of weeks, LA has been in the news for the shockingly racist language bandied about when 4 city council members thought nobody was listening. Clearly, there are some deep-seated issues in the city. Anti-Blackness, cronyism, homophobia, corruption. Otherwise, the leak conversation would never have happened so brazenly. So what steps need to be taken in order to heal those wounds in LA? And why are you uniquely positioned to take on this challenge?
Well, one, I've been building coalitions across race, class, geography, and ideology for decades. And I reject the notion that, as awful as those tapes are, I do not believe that those tapes set back race relations 20 years or 10 years. It's like all the work we've been doing for decades got deleted. So let me just tell you what I'm doing. We're going to launch an effort on Thursday that's calling for citywide conversations, looking at structural racism, looking at inequities, and having conversations that would lead to very specific changes in public policy. We have structural inequality, inequity in the city, and it needs to be addressed. For example, you can't just divide the pie up by 15. There are some areas that need more services, more attention. And I think that whenever you have a crisis like this, there's always an opportunity, and we have to pull the opportunity out of it.
So did you find the contents of that leaked recording surprising?
Well, not just surprising. It was devastating personally. I know those 4 people. One, Gil Cedillo, who refuses to resign, I've known him for 40 years. You know, Nuri Martinez and Ron Herrera, I haven't known as long. Those 2 individuals endorsed me. Gil endorsed Caruso, and Kevin De Leon hadn't taken a position. Kevin and I have known each other for close to 20 years.
Have you talked about it with any of them?
I did. I have talked to both Nuri and Ron. I've not talked to Kevin and Gil. And, you know, needless to say, they were very, remorseful. But there are consequences. You can't take it back.
Yeah. Sounds like a tough conversation to have with somebody who you've known for that long. If the Nuri Martinez comments were LA city government at its worst, and you wanted to point somebody to LA government at its best, what would you point to?
Well, what would I appoint them to?
What would you point at?
What
an
would I
example
point
of
at?
LA being...
Well, again, I think our years and years of racial solidarity and understanding each other's communities and working together. I mean, 30 years ago, I started Community Coalition in South Central. The Latino population was very small then. We built that organization consciously as an African-American Latino organization, and we raised 2 generations of young people who are steeped in their history and understand who they are and understand the solidarity. They were raised that way. That's how I was raised. I grew up during tumultuous times, and I always viewed myself as an internationalist. I always identified with people's struggles around the world and people's struggles around the country. And we functioned that way. We use different language. I mean, we called it third world unity at the time. Now it's called multiculturalism. But it was how I was raised. And so it was very important to me to contribute to raising another generation with those same set of values.
Your opponent thinks that the future of Los Angeles is inevitably tied to the future of the entertainment industry. Would you characterize the city's future the same way?
No, I think the future of Los Angeles is tied to its people. Its people, not one industry over another.
What's the first thing you're going to do as mayor?
Oh, no question. State of emergency. We got to get people off the street. 3 or 4 of them didn't wake up this morning. That's why I decided not to run again for Congress. It wasn't I was tired of Congress. I'm giving up everything because that's how important and serious I think the situation is. And I just don't want to see people locked up again the way they were locked up in the 90s when we refused to address a health crisis. Then it was addiction. We refused to address a social and an economic crisis. It was gang violence. and we criminalized it. And I can see that coming back again. It's a really bad movie, and I don't want to see it repeated.
You have always been a progressive voice as a public servant, but you're also somebody who's famously well-liked by people at all points on the political spectrum. So who's somebody that you've worked with successfully that has been your most surprising ally?
I think one ally I work with, especially in this moment of Roe, who is just passionately against a woman's right to choose, and we've worked together for 12 years on human trafficking. I believe my eyes are on the prize, and I will ally with anybody on a certain issue. Now, obviously, I'm not going to ally with him on that issue.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to work together on human trafficking, that's what we'll do. His name is Chris Smith. He's a congressman from New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Kevin McCarthy is another one. He's helped me. We knew each other in Sacramento, and when he was in charge, when we were in the minority, he's helped me get things done. And like I said, by any means necessary, eyes on the prize. I don't have a problem working with people, which is kind of weird because, I come home and then watch him on Fox and go, oh my God.
You're like, really? Do you ever text him? Are you ever like, Kevin,
yes.
WYD?
Yes. Yes. Especially during Trump's presidency. I'm like, give me a break. You know this guy's crazy.
Wow. Interesting tidbit there. Okay, so Alyssa's not from LA. I live in LA.
I am not from LA.
Alyssa does not live in LA. No. So let's say that Alyssa was your guest coming from out of the city. What is your favorite thing to do in LA? What would you take Alyssa to do?
Well, you know what I do when people come from out of town?
What?
We go to the beach. Venice Beach.
I love a beach.
I do too.
Especially with SPF.
Venice is like, it's kind of like its own little world. And bike riding, I also love to do, and take somebody on a bike ride on the beach is my favorite thing to do.
Interesting. So if you were, this is like not on the cards, but if you were mayor, would you make it easier to ride a bike in the city?
Yes. Yes. And let me just tell you, I ride on the beach because I don't want to ride in traffic. That little white line, doesn't get it for me.
Every time I see somebody riding a bike, I am like, you, sir, are taking your life into your own hands, and I applaud you for your bravery. Karen Bass, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on
becoming a member
again.
of the 3-Peat Club, and we look forward to you becoming a member of the 4-Peat Club after
I do too.
you are elected mayor.
Thank
you so much.